Nobody likes being told what to do. I don't like it. You don't like it. Let's face it. But here's the deal about being a Christian. When we give our life to Jesus, we signed up to be an obedient servant. We signed up to give everything. We signed up to make Jesus Lord of our life. That means he's our boss. That means he calls the shots. We don't like it, but that's the deal. Oh, but I know some of you are already thinking, wow, that was a quick start. But that's so mechanical. I've heard the discussion. It's so mechanical. It's so rigid. It's so biblical. Yeah, it's so biblical. Jesus said, if you love me, you'll keep my commandments. Jesus said, you'll know the truth and the truth will set you free. We love that one. You'll know the truth will set you free. We love it. But that's John 8:32. John 8:31 says this. Jesus said these things to those Jews that believed. He said, if you abide in my word, if you obey my word, then you're my disciples. Then you'll know the truth and it'll set you free. Do you see the progression there? It's an if-then promise of God. If you're my disciples, you'll keep my word, then you'll know the truth and it'll set you free. We love the end part, but we don't like the beginning. So here's the deal. Obedience is huge. It's always been huge for God. Old Testament, I'll take you back there. Deuteronomy 28, 29, 30 is when God brings the Israelites together and tells them about the blessings of obedience and the curses of disobedience. And the blessings are fantastic. You go back and read it, and you should. Deuteronomy 28, I'm going to start at verse 12. The Lord will open to you his good treasure, the heavens, open heavens. He will open the heavens, obedience opens the heavens, to give you rain in your land in its season, to bless all the work of your hand. And you shall lend to many nations and borrow from none. And the Lord will make you the head and not the tail. You shall be above only and never beneath. If you heed the commandments, listen, if you heed the commandments, if you obey the commandments of your Lord, which I command you today, and carefully observe it. But then he goes on to talk about what happens if you don't. The curses. And it says, basically, and this is where we get, maybe you've been around the church for a while, the old phrase where prayer warriors will say, and the heavens were like brass. I couldn't get through. My prayers weren't getting through. Well, that comes from Deuteronomy 28 at the end of it when it talks about the curses. The heavens are like brass because God closes the heavens. If we disobey him, all the curses of the land come upon the Israelites. And so if you want to keep the heavens open above you, it's obedience. So let me ask you a couple questions as you go to prayer today. Are there areas in your life you haven't been obedient? I would say correct that quickly. Do it now in this time of prayer. Repent. Say, God, I'm sorry. I knew you. Last week you told me to do this. This morning you told me to do this. 10 years ago you told me to do this. I would go back immediately to that place and I would make a correction and I would choose to hear God and obey because obedience is success.